All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening, based on where you are now. So, so this is our third B2B straight webinar bi-monthly, and we're very happy to have our very own in-house Sang. He's a master student in the School of Environment, Enterprise and Development. He's about to finish his master's degree. He's writing his thesis now and hopefully finish it up by this semester. He's planning to defend it in August or September this year. And before pursuing his master's degree, Hao completed his bachelor's degree in recreation and sport business and tourism development with a minor in international trade. Today, he is going to talk about his recent master's research in Japan, particularly in Pescatourism. So, over to you, Hinghao.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Yes. Just as what the rules told you, my name is Yinghao, and I'm a master's student at the University of Waterloo in the V2V Global Partnership. And I used to stay at the Tokai University for 3 months when doing my research. Then I will start my presentation, and here's the title. Nowadays, the blue economy considers tourism as a solution of the coastal development, and the pesca tourism in Italy is a popular one which has been spreaded to other European countries to prove its feasibility. Japan has its own coastal tourism carried out by the small-scale fishery fishers called Umigyo, which is a little bit different with the pescatourism. So my presentation is it's about the lesson learned from Japan to improve pescatourism, focusing on justice. Uh, in this presentation, I will go through the background of Umigyo tourism in Japan, which is similar to pescatourism. Following that are the concepts of the orders of justice with the corresponding conditions in the study sites in Japan. Before that, for those who have no idea about what the small-scale fisheries, a small-scale fishery fishers are, the general definition is the fishers who use fishing vessels smaller than 10 gross tons. But actually, the definition is a little bit different around the whole world. Well, uh, in terms of the Umigyo tourism as a synonym of pescatourism in Japan, of course, there are some similarities with pescatourism, including the fishers as the activity operators, the coastal economic and environmental concerns and benefits, village visitings with fishers, seafood and residents, and the activities on the boarding, on the boat. However, Umigyo tourism, uh, its original idea is the utilization of the community resources, and it focuses on the indoor education as a complement of outdoor activities with less stimulation. However, Umigyo tourism is kind of more leisure tourism, and it started from the boarding activities on the fisher's vessels only. And as the time goes, now it's more like a community visiting activities as well. The topic is a part of my thesis about the small-scale fishery governance. I went to 5 study sites in total. But as you can see from the left bottom. Uh, my study sites in the Shizuoka Prefecture were Tagorona, Yui, Mochimune, and Higashi-Izu. And for the left photo, on the right top, well, the study site in the Miyagi Prefecture was the Higashi Matsushima. Well, as you can see from the photos on the right side, there are there are several small-scale fishery vessels in the different communities. My research has a pragmatic worldview because it is expected to address some problems in the real world. I applied several quantitative methods to collect my data for the case study. The literature review about the Umigyo and the Japanese small-scale fisheries, the observation in the sites, the semi-structured interviews, and the focus groups helped me a lot to receive more comprehensive information from different stakeholder groups. With my host supervisor, I successfully did my snowball sampling through her network. Generally, seafood is one of the attractions for the tourists, and it helps differentiate various communities. Well, each community has its own unique fish species and cooking style. Moreover, some outstanding and common outdoor activities carried out by fishers are the marine cruises and fishing. At the same time, the popular indoor education is not only students only taking the classes in rooms, but also can be some practice of dealing and the contacting with fish. The cooking class in Yui is a remarkable example of Fisher's innovation of activities. When talk when we talk about the justice, we can use three orders to evaluate it. The third order is about the value and the image. We need to know what's happening in the Japanese small-scale fisheries. In short, the most urgent vulnerability problem is the lack of successors caused by the economic and the environmental problems. The loss of resilience, which are the lack of the fish stock and the earnings, the insufficient political support for traditional fishing, the lack of successor retention, and the continuous drainage of successors can even seriously lead to the demise of some Japanese small-scale fishery businesses. However, luckily, the Umigyo tourism brings diverse activities to bring the public a better image of the fishery with a higher interest and exposure. Similarly, its promotion of the nature-oriented values leads to people's deeper understanding of the ocean and the preparation for food security problems. When more students get involved into the marine education, they can promote their feelings by mass media and come to the communities again as customers for the economic contribution. It matches the Japanese nature education well and gets support from the local fishery cooperative associations, especially after Umigyo became a formal policy in 2022. The Japanese government has brought more subsidies for the Umigyo related activities for the coastal revitalization. Yeah, then the young generation can be unconsciously influenced as their works that reflect their education effort can be awarded and shown to the public. The education quality is reflected and the promotion is expanded to the public in the public areas, such as on the public transportations with the posters. Then I will briefly, yeah, I have briefly mentioned the support from the, I mean, that I have briefly mentioned the values and image, and I will tell you more about the responsibilities of some common stakeholders in the Japanese small-scale fishery communities in the second order. It's about the institution and the rules in governance. Of course, there are small-scale fishery fishers who carry out the Umigyo tourism activities as service providers and instructors, including both indoor classes and outdoor experiential learnings. When there are adult tourism groups coming to their communities, they also guide their tours, especially in Tagoro-Unna. Some communities, such as the Higashi Matsushima community, have the guest houses as accommodations for tourists to live in. Regarding the marketing, although some fishers as the role models do the marketing and promotion by themselves, the FCAs, which is the acronym of the Fisheries Cooperative Associations, they are responsible for the marketing. It also focuses on the support about the hardware and fighting for the fishers' rights. Although some payments for fishers for operating indoor education is from FCAs in some communities, the government sometimes brings the Umigyo-related fundings to fishers. They are also the policymakers and stakeholder coordinators to help the plans and the collaboration come true. Before the Umigyo policy in 2022, there was a six-level industrialization policy to combine the first industry with the secondary and the tertiary industries for a foundation of collaborations among local entrepreneurs and producers. When the top conveys the policies layer by layer to the bottom's high authority and the prefecture level, the bottom's high authority and the official staff who goes from the central government to the prefecture levels can record different cases in different communities and convey from the bottom to the top for the future adjustments. The frequent and friendly contact between the FCAs and the prefecture level government officials can ensure the transparency and the mutual understandings, at least in those study sites. Therefore, fishers and the FCAs are empowered with more authority. And finally, the first order is about the interaction. With the existence of the Umigyo tourism, there are more and more active interactions with some other stakeholder groups. Of course, the conflict on resources and space still exists. Generally, there are often some worries about the interests when the resources and the spaces are taken away by other stakeholder groups. Okay, yeah. However, the collaboration alleviates some harms and pursues viability. There were some existing collaborations among some stakeholder groups, but Umigyo Tourism boosts their relationships or leads to other collaboration directions. More precisely, there are more research and government concerns, future talents, fundings, and tourists for the features. Meanwhile, there are more complete facilities and services for tourists to experience. Therefore, Umigyo Tourism leads the whole community to develop a sustainable tourism business with a justice direction. And here are the references. And thank you for watching. Yeah. And I have the final slide about two questions. Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Hao. It was really interesting and excellent presentation, and good to know about Pescat. Can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good to know about the differences between Omigo fisheries and pescatourism. So maybe before we go to those questions, so just those who are here, we will not make a breakout group. We'll just informally, I mean, take if anybody has any opinions about those questions, you can take it here. And before that, I may ask people here if they have any questions on your presentation so far. So while they're thinking, maybe I can ask you a couple of questions. So first one is the methodology. You
Yeah.
used a qualitative approach for your study.
Should I go back to that slide?
Yeah, maybe. So can you elaborate on this a little bit? Like, what did you, how did you come up with qualitative methodology? Why not quantitative? And what actually made you choose qualitative method?
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, at first I planned to do both qualitative and quantitative methods as the mixed methods research methods.
Mm-hmm.
However, yeah, when I really attended Japan, I found it it wasn't really good to do the quantitative because well the process would be so complicated. Therefore, I just gave up the quantitative research methods. But actually, I prepared enough qualitative method strategies so I could ensure the what's that called? Triangulation to make sure that I have the data from different stakeholders, like from the fishers, the government, the like the manufacturers and
Mm-hmm.
the tourists to make sure while they bring me the reliable data and the similar data so that I can trust their what they told me exactly. And I think that's it. That's why
Yeah.
I keep crediting it.
Yeah, that's an important lesson as well. Like, if we are in an area where we don't have access to communities much, and the language is also a barrier for quantitative research, it takes a long time and a lot of interviews, like surveys with the communities, right? So
Yes.
which is complicated for your case because you were from China and then you
Mhm.
went to Japan, and then finding out people for surveys, it's pretty difficult. So I see Mentari has a question. Go ahead, Mentari.
Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hi Leo. Hi, Yinghao. Okay, I think this
Yes.
is our first time to meet, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, in P2P. Okay, it's really nice to meet you, and it's really nice presentation. And also,
Thank
I
you.
have like on my focus in also in tourism. So I want
Tourism.
to ask about the first order interaction in fisheries, which is you have like a renewable energy development. So maybe can you explain me a little bit, and then the maybe the tourism in your uh,
This, you mean
picture?
the Umigyo tourism?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Actually, well, it's a part of Umigyo. Well, at least, well, at first we need to know what's the Umigyo. Uh, Previously, well, the fishing was the first industry for the fishers, and it was the main source of their livelihood. And then some of some fishers just regarded the tourism as a kind of side business, and they found well it was effective to use the tourism to get the extra money. And now the Umigyo just doesn't classify the tourism as a side business. I mean, at least nowadays, Umigyo just utilize the community resources. Uh, and it doesn't matter if it's the fish product or the other community product, then there isn't the first industry or the side business. Anything in the community resources can be regarded as the first business. And wow, the Umigyo was a kind of a definition, I mean a concept first launched in 1985, but until 2022, it became a formal policy. So that more community would follow, and there are more official subsidies to support, so that the fishers are more willing to do this business. And from what I've seen, wow, this Umigyo just motivates more people, I mean, more fishers to stay in the small scale fishery business. Otherwise, some young people from the small scale fishery families may just go to some other big cities to find more opportunities instead of staying in the fishery community. Yeah. Oh, and let me see what's more I can talk about.
okay?
Okay, yes, yeah, and in Japan, here's the very popular nature education, so that the schools teachers may bring the students to different nature areas to contact the nature. And then now, well, Umigyo matches it well because it has designed some indoor educations for the students and other tourists. Yeah.
So in a small scale fisheries, is there I mean like in tourism actually, is there any like beach like a beach in here in your studies? Right? Are you
Sorry, could you
using?
repeat? I
Yeah,
can't hear you
sure.
very well.
Okay, sorry. So in
Yeah,
your study site, is there any like
study
proper
side.
beach that you use to in your tourism, or no? It's just community and etc.
The formula, could you repeat the final word?
I think she's trying to understand what I understood. Like, is there
Yeah.
any particular beach that you used
Yeah.
for your
Uh,
study,
Mhm.
or it's
yes,
just a community?
yes. Can you see this slide? Yes, I had 5 study sites, and they were the coastal communities, so they were close to the beach, and you can see this three. I mean the Yui, Mochimune, and Tagonouna are so close. So they are close to the what's that city called? Shimizu City in the Shizuoka Prefecture. On the right side of them, here's the Higashi Izu. Uh, I spent I guess the distance between Higashi Izu and those 3 communities were like 3 hours by the train. And here's another study site called Higashi Matsushima, which is far away from them. That's in the Miyagi prefecture. I guess when I add this study sites, I can ensure that my research can represent Japan more.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So I
Thank you
assume
for your
that you,
question.
yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mandari. So I assume that your research was most, I mean, in both beaches and also the communities, the small scale fishing communities, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I mean, I think of them as 5 different study sites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a second question, which is about the conflicts. So you talked about conflicts between different stakeholders. So can you go a little bit further about the
Yeah.
conflicts
Okay.
between this tourism, small scale fisheries based tourism industry and
You
large
mean this
scale
one
fisheries industry? Uh,
or this one? Yeah. You
yeah,
mean the conflicts? Right.
yeah, conflicts between the tourism based small scale fisheries and industrial fisheries. Do you see any conflicts there?
You mean small scale fisheries and the conflicts between the small scale fisheries and the large scale
Yeah,
fisheries?
yeah,
Yeah. So the large scale fisheries sometimes go further to the ocean. So they sometimes can just catch fish far away. But when the small scale fishery fishers want to catch the fish, the fish are from the far further ocean. When the large scale fisheries just take more fish, it means that the small scale fishery can get less. And I think that's the reason why they have the conflicts on the resource. And that's what I heard from the fishers complaint. And nowadays, actually this conflict hasn't been resolved. So there are continuous negotiation between them. Yeah. And
yeah. It's sad. Like I believe there is a clear regulations or policies where large scale fishers should fish and where small scale fishers is supposed to fish, right? So
yeah,
there is maybe some sort of I mean legislation violation as well,
yeah,
right?
elimination. Yeah, from what I heard from the fishers, the small scale fishery fishers are more nature oriented, so they really follow the rules, like the
Yeah,
seasonality rules.
yeah,
Of course, there are the off fishing seasons. So they just follow the rules to protect their long-term community development.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, if they don't obey the rule, these small-scale fishers are sometimes they sometimes take the punishments. For example, they are not allowed to go fishing for a certain period. I remember
Mm-hmm.
maybe 1 month, but well, the large-scale fisheries won't regard the fish as a part of their home.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So thank you again, Inghao, and thank you, Mentari, for your questions. So can we go back to the questions?
Questions? Yeah.
Let's have a look at those questions, and if we have any input on that in your daily life, have you heard of a or contacted SSFs? If not, what do you want to know more? If yes, how do you know them and what the role they play in your life? So I can go first about this one. Yeah, I have been working on small scale fisheries, and I did visit the communities as well. So at the beginning, I had no idea what a small scale fisheries is, but this is something that I have been seeing around me since my childhood. Like whatever fisheries or fishing activities was going on for subsistence consumption. Later, I got to know that this is also small scale fisheries. So I'm from Bangladesh, so there are lots of small scale fishing going on. So for me, it was pretty easy to understand about them and to I mean later theoretically and scientifically explain their situation. So maybe I'll stop here. Anything else I need to talk about this?
I
Yeah,
guess
so if I want to know more about them, of course, there will be a lot areas like their well-being, their behavior, their um, what else? Interaction with the government institutions. Yes, there are a lot of things that I could still be looking at in the future.
good. Yeah, very good answer.
Thank you. Anyone else has any thoughts?
Yeah, maybe I can share a little bit. I've actually 2 weeks ago I went to Karimunjawa to survey for my classes. So I met like a small community of small scale fisheries, and I also had a few questions for them, but not in a injustice problem area. So yeah, and what role do they play in my life? Actually, I don't know yet, but I'm still studying them.
Yeah.
So actually, my thesis is about the carbon, and I want to learn the blue carbon in tourism area in both the small scale fisheries. So yeah.
So the education plays a really important yeah rule. And thank you for
No
your
worries.
answer. Yeah.
So maybe you can go for the second questions. Throughout your life, could you give an example of how you met injustice? So
Yeah.
it's not about fisheries, right? It's for
Actually, I don't need to restrict it to the small scale fishery like
hmm.
region, maybe. Yeah. I mean anything.
Yeah. So I can give you a small scale fisheries person. I mean,
Yeah.
an example of injustice from fisheries. In
Yeah.
my studied area, I have seen that fishers are restricted to go to their adjacent forest or fishing areas throughout the year. There are more than 7 months fishing ban in total out of 12 months in different period, like not I mean consequent. Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm lacking words now. So it's not like in a row, but there are different durations in different times,
Mhm.
and the fishing bans are in different forms, like ban for crab, ban for hilsha, ban for breeding in a lot of purposes. So in total, there are like 7 months of fishing ban. So if there are 7 months of fishing ban, what then fishers
Mhm.
will do? There is not enough compensation for them to survive during this period, because they rely 100% on fisheries resources for their livelihoods, for their income, for leading their families.
Yeah.
So this is an injustice against them, I would say, because they haven't got enough compensation, enough incentives to survive during such situation. And if I put that in the orders of the governance, it will be mostly um, second order, because institutional structure, the way it is structured, they haven't taken consideration of the fishing communities. Their voices are not heard, and then also their participation is not there. So mostly the problem will be second order based.
Yeah. I see. So, oh, so you said, well, the fishers are not allowed to go fishing for 7 months per
Almost,
year.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see. Thank you for your answer. And I will just go back a little to help you help remind you of the three orders.
Yeah. And of course, government has their meta order objectives or goals. Like they want to preserve the fisheries, they want to make sure that fish species are regenerating,
Yeah,
the abundance of fish increases, the productivity increase. So they have those meta order goals. But when it comes to considering communities, their participation in the institutional structure and making rules and policies, it's not fair.
yes, I see.
What's
And
what's
actually,
your what's
yeah,
your take on second question?
my think, well, I can just yeah, just follow your topic about the closed fishing seasons. Well, in Japan, I heard it it also exists, and the fishers won't go fishing for like 5 months per year for the
Mm,
biodiversity protection. And well, at that condition, fishers follow and obey the rules because, well, they regard the fish as an important part of their community. And well, they just found some solutions to solve that by themselves, such as the tourism I mentioned.
yeah,
And this Umigyo tourism is like a standardization and like a formalization of this kind of tourism. So I guess, well, the government recognizes their livelihood problems, and the government is using the new policies to do some official actions to make the viability come true. Yeah.
yeah. But at least it's a good thing that government also trying from their side to compensate or incentivize this close season, which is a
Yes.
good thing. So I don't know, Noor, Shafika, Mentari, if you have any more thoughts or reflection on the question.
No, I think enough for me, but I want to introduce North Africa. They're
Yeah.
our new friends from Indonesia too, from our group too. But she's still in the what is that? In economic too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she's still in the Eh, kita bisa on cam nggak sih?
Nice. It's really nice to know about Nur Shafika and
Ya,
nice to meet you. And is she
ya,
also working with Inda?
ya, serius.
Okay, and she's
Mhm.
planning to study about fisheries, I believe.
Ya, ya, maybe in the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So I believe this is the first time she's joining us, but we will hear more from her in future webinar. And if Nur Shafika, if you have anything to say, just say hi. That would be great.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Mm,
It's a rainy day here in Waterloo, so people
yeah,
are sleeping, I believe. Rainy morning.
actually, I just saw little Shika join, and she quit.
She left again.
Yes, but I actually, well, I want to thank her for at least joining at 8 o'clock. Yeah.
I
Hi.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Nur Shafika. Yeah, I'm from Undip as
Mhm,
new assistant Prof Indah.
mhm.
I'm sorry, my English is bad.
No, we can understand you.
Okay.
So do you like fisheries?
Yes, my skripsi, my final
Research.
apa?
Research.
Skripsi
Yes. Your research.
is about fisheries.
Yeah, and you know that we are good friends like Mentari, Aini, and then Hafsari, um, Zulfikar. We were all in Ingha was not there, but we were in India for a field school, and also we were in the meeting V2V meeting in Puri, and later we met Mantari again in Bangladesh for another conference with Professor Inda. And it's been long that we know Inda. Personally, I know Inda since 2019, 2018 probably. No, 2019 when she visited in Bangladesh at my university. So it's really nice to meet you, Nur Shafika. We'll hope to see you in the future webinars and hear more about your thoughts and reflections on fisheries and small scale fisheries. So if anybody has any further comments or final thoughts, if not, then Inghao, you can conclude.
Yeah. Well, let me think about the conclusion. Yeah. Firstly, thank you all for joining my presentation and giving some questions. And also, I also thank you for answering my questions. And in the yeah, I hope you can keep your curiosity and interest in the small scale fisheries. Of course, I know some of you are have been the researcher for a long time, longer than me. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
thank you
it.
too as well, Inghao. I hope it was helpful for your defense exercise. The questions we had, it helped, I hope.
Yeah.
And again, thank you everyone for joining. And we will have our fourth webinar in next 2 months, which means September, second week of September, second twist of September. We'll see you there. In the meantime, we'll probably try to arrange another event on skill development, like what we did for qualitative or mixed method approach. So stay tuned. Hope to see you in future activities.
Thank
Thank you and
you.
take care,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.